Aloha, good afternoon, everyone. It's 1 p.m. on Wednesday, October 18th, 2023, and I call the Committee on Parks, Enterprise Services, and Culture of the Arts meeting to order. I want to welcome Vice Chair Okimoto, Council Members Cordero, and Council Member Tupola. Pursuant to Section 92-3.7 Hawaii Revised Statutes, this meeting will be conducted as a remote meeting by interactive conference technology, with the following procedures in effect for the meeting. Members of the public will be allowed to provide oral testimony on all items on the agenda in two ways: in person in the council chamber and remotely. In person and remote oral testimony will be allowed when each agenda item is taken up. Before testifying, each person shall state their names. Each speaker may not have anyone else read their statement and is limited to a 1-minute presentation on each item. All the persons who have registered to testify in person will be called upon first. When the timer goes off, please conclude your remarks properly. Persons who have not registered will be given an opportunity to testify following the registered testifiers. Once in-person testimony is conducted, I will proceed to remote testimony. All persons who have registered to testify remotely by video conference or telephone will be called upon. When your name is called, please monitor your screen and activate your audio feed when prompted. For persons who are testifying by telephone only, I will identify you by the last 3 digits of your phone number. When your number is called, please listen for the prompt and unmute and press *6. When I call anyone else standing by remotely, please utilize the Zoom raise hand button and to indicate your desire to speak. For those joining us by telephone only, please press *9 to indicate your desire to speak. Some friendly reminders: video conference from a quiet location if possible. If you're watching the proceedings on Olelo, please mute your television when you are called to testify. When the timer on the screen reaches 0, please conclude your remarks promptly. HR Section 92-3.7 requires all votes at remote meetings be conducted by roll call unless unanimous. Therefore, I will first call objections and then if there are any, I will call for a roll call vote. Written testimonies, including the testifier's address, email address, and phone number, will be available to the public as described on the posted agenda. As a courtesy, please turn off all cell phones for the duration of this meeting. Okay, committee members, moving on to item number 1, Resolution 23-224, accepting a gift to the city from Cocoa Head Potters of Paragon Ceramic Clean, valued at $6,900 for Cocoa Head District Park. And here to speak on the administration is Executive Assistant Daria Amano Mitsui.
Good afternoon, Chair and Council members. The department would like to thank Cocoa Head Potters for their generous gift of the Paragon Ceramic Kiln, and we ask for your favorable consideration. Thank you.
Is there any questions, committee members, to the testifier? Okay, we'll now proceed with in-person testimony in the council chambers. Do we have anyone registered?
Chair, there are none.
Okay. Is there anyone that would like to testify?
Chair, there are none.
Yeah, so we'll now move on to remote testimony. Do we have any registered testifiers for this item?
Chair, there are none.
Okay. Is there anyone that wants to testify on this item remotely?
Chair, there are none.
Okay. Members, we are in discussion. No discussion? Awesome. The chair recommends that resolution 23-224 be reported out for adoption. Any objections? Any reservations? Hearing none, so ordered. Okay, moving on to item number 2, resolution 23-245, accepting a gift to the city from the Honolulu Zoo Society of a shade structure valued at $6,851.30 for the penguin exhibit at the Honolulu Zoo. And here to speak on from the administration is Director Dita Hollyfield.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much. I'm excited and very grateful from the Honolulu Zoo Society. We gladly accept this gift for the penguin shade. We're going to be needing to sink in a pole, concrete it, and then reinstall new cables and a new, heavier reinforced shade. So we're excited for the welfare of the penguin community, and we appreciate what the Honolulu Zoo has done for us.
Awesome. Thank you, Director. Is there any questions? Councilmember Cordero.
Hi, Dr. Hollifield. I was just wondering, relating to the shade, is there also climate control needed for the penguins?
Currently, we don't have any issues in that. I know the sun, as we all know, moves, but that's why the shade is so important, because that's going to be the cooling agent that we're going to need to make them feel comfortable.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yes,
Thank you,
ma'am.
Chair.
Anyone else would like to ask a question? Okay, we'll now proceed with in-person testimony in the council chambers. Do we have any registered testifiers for this item?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, is there anyone in the chamber that would like to testify? Anybody would like to speak on behalf of the Penguins?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, perfect. Is there anyone moving on to remote testimony? We have any registered testifiers?
Chair, we have Angela Young.
Angela, okay. Angela, go ahead.
Hey, Chair and the City Council, Angela Melody Young. I will speak on behalf of the Penguins,
Awesome.
on behalf of our Rescue of Animal Rights, and testifying, of course, in support. So as we've heard from some of the other things we've learned in the other hearings about the climate crisis, human intervention is necessary to build shade structures to protect various species of life. Right. So, for example, in another country, they had to build shade structures to protect the turtles on the beaches from the heat, because the heat kills the turtles, and also the heat causes the turtles to change sex, to change genders. So you can see that heat does what can be concluded as an damage, right? So human intervention by providing shade structures is good because it protects life, and it's going to protect the penguins. Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else remotely that would like to testify on the item?
Chair, there are none.
Okay. Members, we are in discussion. Okay. The chair recommends that Resolution 23-245 be reported out for adoption. Any objections? Any reservations? Hearing none, so ordered. Okay, moving on to item number 3, Resolution 23-247, accepting a gift to the city from the Honolulu Zoo Society of an enclosure partition valued at $25,300 for the orangutan day pen at the Honolulu Zoo. And here to speak from the administration, Director Dita Hollyfield.
Thank you again, Council Chair. I wanted to tell you about the orangutans. The orangutans got a divorce a while back, and they currently need to be separated. The male monopolizes and blocks the doorways by sitting and won't let the female in or out, depending upon where she is. So this is very important to the welfare, especially of the female, and I am asking for your support today to
Chair, there are none.
Okay, is there anyone here that would like to testify?
Chair, there are none.
Okay, we will move on to remote testimony. Is there any registered testifiers for this item?
Chair, there are none.
Okay. Is there anyone that would like to testify? I see Angela's hand raised. I want to welcome Councilmember Say. Go ahead, Angela.
Aloha, Chair and the City Council. Orangutans are a very important species. There was just birthed at the Denver Zoo, the orangutan, and also from Sacramento Zoo, there was a orangutan born. And actually, again, it requires humans, such as zoo facilities, to intervene, provide shelter, and to raise these species, because, for example, from the Sacramento Zoo, their orangutan, the training to build up the mother skills, because the monkey there, it just didn't display any necessary maternal skills. It just didn't display any necessary caring skills, and the orangutan species could not live if training isn't provided for motherhood, to care for the species, and also human intervention to build playpens.
All right, thank you. Thank you, Angela. All right, members, we are in discussion. Okay. Well, we hope that we can get the orangutans the help they need, some reconciliation. If you need help with that, I will be happy to be like Dr. Phil on that one. Okay, moving on to item number 4. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, the chair recommends, sorry. Yikes. All right, the chair recommends that resolution 23-247 be reported out for adoption. Any objections? Okay, any reservations? Hearing none, so ordered. Now we will move on to item number 4. Members, the last item on our agenda today is an update from the Department of Parks and Rec on the status of their parks and programs. We have a presentation from the Department of Parks and Recreation. And for your information, the presentation is available online as Departmental Communication 743. And here from the administration is Executive Assistant Dori Amano Matsui.
We want to
And I
thank
think-
you guys for the opportunity and this time to provide you an update from our Maintenance Support Services Department Division, which is MSS. Here today with us and doing the presentation and providing the update is Peter Yamashita, who's been our manager and doing an absolutely wonderful job, who will be retiring in 2 months and 13 days. So we're very, very sad. But he's done a wonderful job just starting, making great improvements for all our city parks, working with all of you. And so we're so excited to have him do his presentation. And to my left is Nathan Sirota, who is our DPR's go-to information guy, who will also be doing the PowerPoint for us. So thank you.
Good afternoon, Parks Chair and council members. Thank you for the introduction, Dory. A little bit too much information. But yes, my name is Peter Yamashita, and I'm the manager at MSS. We're the maintenance and support service for all the parks on Oahu, so over 300 facilities. And I'm very, very happy today. And I can't tell you how happy I am to speak about my section, my branch. So before we go into the slideshow, I'd just like to kind of give a little bit of background about my section. So MSS is divided into 2 sections, the trade section and the GIS section, which is the grounds improvement section. But aside from those 2 sections, I also have 2 other groups that are part of MSS, but not under those 2 branches. So that is the mechanical repair shop. The mechanical repair shop maintains and services over 2,200 equipment that weed eaters, blowers, light equipment mowers, 72-inch mowers, hedge trimmers, pressure washers, all of those equipment that is used in all of the parks is serviced and maintained at my section, mechanical repair section. That section is manned by a staff of 4 people, 2 of which are out on leave. One's retiring and one's on medical. So 2 guys handle all the repairs for all of those 2,000 equipment and 1 manager there. So they do an awesome job. Aside from that section, I also have a work program section. Work program section is manned by 1 person, and he's here today, Walter Cambra, and I'm going to ask him to stand. This is Walter Cambra. Please, a hand for Walter. 2 years ago, work programs had a budget of 1.7 million. We didn't have too many master agreements, MAs, so we weren't able to do a whole lot with the monies. But since then, about 5 different master agreements were installed and initiated, and from that, painting, roofing, asphalt and concrete, fencing, those MAs allow us to do projects over 25,000. So we do large asphalt projects, fencing projects, roofing projects that are over that limit, and that allows us to help you in all of your districts do a lot of those repairs and maintenance to our park facilities. Walter's section handles all of the contracts for those large projects. And like I said, 1.7 million 3 years ago ballooned last year to 8.7 million, which is what he did in projects. So we did quite a lot. And those monies were from council ads and special projects. So thank you for, allowing us to do improvements in your park facilities. So those two sections are outside of the trades and the GIS section. So that's great because $8.7 million worth of projects outside for large contracts is quite a bit, and it improved the parks tremendously. But the bread and butter of MSS is the daily, day in and day out repairs that we do. So last year, FY23, we did over $7 million worth of projects in-house. So roughly we get about 180 to 200 repair requests a week at MSS. So over a year, we get about a little over 10,800 repair requests to MSS every year. So those are handled by our trade section, which comprises of our carpentry, our plumbing and repair, plumbing and irrigation, welding, masonry, and painting. Those are our trade sections. They do tremendous amount of work. Carpentry section does all the wood repairs, partitions to our comfort stations, puts up cabinets, shelving. They repair comfort stations. They build basketball backboards, outdoor courts. They replace those. Field goal posts at the parks. Those are put up by our carpentry section, so they do a lot of work. Our mason section is supervised by Darryl Agaron. He's here today. Darryl Agaron. Darryl's one of the primary jobs of our mason section is doing trip hazards. So a lot of the sidewalks that have uplifted and everything by tree roots or whatever have you, Darryl's section repairs that. But he also does extra work aside from that. And currently his staff is putting in pads, cement pads for tables and benches, which is part of our ARPA project. So we have an ARPA project that will be displayed on the video that slideshow that you'll be seeing shortly. So Darryl's group is involved in doing that also. Aside from that, we have our welding section, and that's supervised by Clyde Nagamine, and Clyde is here today too. Clyde is also retiring at the end of the year with me, and Clyde brings a whole wealth of knowledge, and his knowledge goes back tremendously, so the staff will really be at a loss without Clyde's knowledge. Clyde did so much work over his career with the city, building personally from ground up, because he was a regular welder before, but now is the welding supervisor. So normally they repair chain link fences and do baseball backstops repairs on those. But aside from repairs, Clyde also builds things. So Parks Chair, a couple years ago, you appropriated $1 million for the repair and replacement of the bridge at Kapapapuhi, right? So they asked me, would your crew be able to do that? I asked Clyde, can you do that? He took a look at it and he said, this bridge can be repaired. It's still structurally sound. So Clyde and his group chiseled away all the rust, got everything, took away the flooring, which was really bad. So he bought some bar grating, put that down. So he did that and we painted it. The labor crew added asphalt in the beginning. So he did that project for $5,000. So that $1 million you allocated was done by Clyde's group for $5,000. And it looks great today. You see a picture on the PowerPoint presentation of that bridge. So currently, Clyde and his group are building a pedestrian bridge for whole Malahia. I estimated the bridge when I did an estimate for that. It would cost $50,000. That's just the bridge alone. So the shipping would, this is from the mainland because I couldn't find anybody who does it locally. So Clyde is building the bridge in-house at MSS. He, just yesterday, finished building all of the railings. And then we're waiting for the I-beams to come in. Then he'll assemble the bridge on-site at Ho'omalakia. And with ENV's help, we should be installing the bridge sometime probably in December, late December probably. So great job that Clyde and his staff do day in and day out. Our other trade section is manned by Johnny Retuta, and Johnny is here today. Johnny's group, I was mentioning that MSS gets about 200 ROs, repair requests a week. Out of that 200, Johnny's group, the plumbing and irrigation, gets about 100. So he gets half of those repair requests every week, day in, day out. And some of those fixes can be little, from minor sprinkler repairs or anything, but some of them can be pretty major and can last a couple weeks. We just finished a repair at Kamehameha Community Park that took almost a month to repair because it was deep and a lot of different lines involved, and the piping there is quite old and antiquated. But yeah, it was a nightmare, but we're happy to get out of there. One of the things that I'm really appreciative for Johnny and his group is that you know, when we go home on a Friday afternoon and ready to kick back and relax, the last thing on your mind is you're thinking about work. But oftentimes at MSS, we're 24/7. And I get a phone call at 5 o'clock, and Johnny just got home. He left work at 3, and they said, "Oh, Peter, you know what? We got a water break at Ala Moana. Oh, can you help?" So I gotta call Johnny. "Sorry, Johnny, I hate to call you, but we got a water break. Can you?" And so he just got home, but he has to come back to the shop, get the truck, assemble a crew, and go out there and do the repair. Not only on Friday afternoon, but on Saturdays or Sundays, holidays. This man answers his phone. A lot of times you call somebody like, oh, he sees my number. He knows I'm not calling to, you know, talk story, right? If something is broken and I need his help to get the repair done. But whenever I call, Johnny answers the phone. So I'm really appreciative that he has that type of dedication to really answer and do the work. You know, so thank you, Johnny, for all that you do. Okay, that's the trades group. Then on the other side, we have the grounds improvement section. The grounds improvement section consists of heavy equipment. Heavy equipment has our big excavators and tractors and backhoes, dump trucks, and everything. And we do all the support for the trades. Sometimes the piping that Johnny needs to repair is 4 feet deep, 6 feet deep, and if you had to dig that by hand, it take weeks. So our heavy equipment section helps the trades and supports them by digging trenches for them and excavating the pipes. So they also do the hauling the Christmas decorations and hauling the tree for Honolulu City Lights and Kapolei City Lights. That group is also, they do sand pushing, which we just finished sand pushing on the North Shore and in Makaha. And then in early January, we'll probably start sand pushing at Sandy Beach. Also in that group is our chemical section. We do all the fertilizing, spraying, weed control, rodent control, bee control. All of those are handled by our chemical section. Then we have our labor and our utility, which also supports the trades and other agencies with manual labor work. So that in a nutshell is MSS. So we're located at 1001 Makolu Street in Manana, Pro City. All of you are welcome anytime to come visit. I'll be happy to give you a grand tour of our facilities, show you our staff and our guys, so come by anytime. So, okay, Nate, ready? Okay, on the top picture, you'll see jobs that we do at MSS. So our top picture is Our grounds improvement section, that's our labor and utility group, and they're doing work on a ball field. We take care and maintain all of the ball fields in our parks. And the second picture is Kapapapuhi, and that's us putting in the new, the bar grading on that Kapapapuhi bridge. And the bottom section is a picture of us loading material for our work that we did to open Coco Head shooting range. That was our project we started in February of this year. So these are our other trades. You see our carpenter repairing a comfort station, and our welder making a cattle gate. And Clyde's group also fabricates all these cattle gates in-house at MSS, takes it out to the park sites, and then installs the cattle gate on site. Our bottom section is a picture of the painters painting the targets at Coco Head Shooting Range. All of the targets there were rusted, so Clyde's group fabricated and made all of those shooting targets. He installed the targets, and now the painters, as you see, are painting the targets. Also, you see all the different sections of MSS and how much money they spent doing all the projects last in FY23. So plumbing and irrigation, that picture you see is a picture of them repairing the water line that feeds YPO Soccer Stadium. That's a small line compared to the huge line that they had to replace a couple times, and that was a 20-inch main that they repaired. So huge main that they repaired. But this is a six-inch one that they're doing right now. And then on the right, you see the sand pushing, and that picture's sand pushing at Sandy Beach. Okay, I wanted to add this slide because, not all of the work is hunky-dory and really nice stuff. So some of our work is dangerous. Oftentimes a lot of our clogged pipes and sewers are from people that shove all kinds of different stuff in the pipe to clog the pipe. So the picture on the right shows you some of the stuff that was clogged in the pipe. And you see the water on the right side, that's feces water. So a lot of times they have to go into rooms, trudging through, and lucky they have boots and gloves and everything, but through feces water to repair all these pipes. And when they do the repair, after they leave, people go back and clog it again. So sometimes they go multiple times during the week to repair the same clog. Not only traversing and going through and doing repairs in feces water, but also areas and sections in these facilities that have needles in them. So they have to really watch out what type of facility and where they are and make sure that they keep safe by not getting poked by those needles. So this is some of the challenges that our plumbing department faces. So this is two of the pictures you see that Walter contracts. The top picture is a roofing contractor doing the roof at Coco Head Shooting Range. And the bottom picture is our asphalt contractor paving the service road to the Coco Head maintenance facility. These are also pictures from our work programs project. Roofing, we just completed a large project at Melumanu Neighborhood Park. And then our backstop at Waimanalo Beach. We did 3 backstops there. We also did the backstops at Coco Head District Park, all the 4 backstops there. The paving at Kawainui Marsh, the Kawainui model airplane, and Councilmember Tupola's project out at KL Beach Park. 1,100 bollards and chains were installed there at KL Beach Park. That picture was taken before it was painted. So now, if you go out there now, all of those bollards and chains are painted. Okay, Let's Meet at the Park project. It's an ARPA project that's funded $2 million. They're funded installing, as you see, 347 benches and 209 picnic tables in 61 parks. So this project is supposed to be encumbered by 2026. No, excuse me, encumbered by 2024, FY24, at the end of FY24, and installed by FY 2026. But we will finish before. We expect to finish this December 2023. We're over halfway done with our installations, some of them by the contractor and some of them by Daryl and Richard on our staff, who are installing pads and tables and benches in districts 3 and 5. So Parks districts 1 and 4 are completed. The contractor is now in District 2. So we have District 2 is halfway done, and we have districts 3 and 5 left to go. This is Daryl's group pouring the slab at Wahiawa District Park. Sometimes they have to work fast because the cement sets real quick, so they have to move real quickly. You know, that's quick dry cement, so they got to move fast, you know. Otherwise, it'll
But guarantee finish 2023, huh?
See, that's all. So usually there are 5 tables and benches, 5 tables, 5 benches at each of the parks. So as mandated, one of the 5, so 4 are regular tables and 1 is an ADA. So there's 4 regular and 1 ADA table, and 4 regular, 1 ADA bench. And all of those are being installed now. And like I said, we're on schedule to finish end of this year, which is great. That was my goal. So I think we'll hit that. So any questions you have for me?
Thank you, Mr. Yamashita. Yeah, I'll go ahead and ask Councilmember Tupola.
Hey, thanks so much for giving Cal Beach Park a shout out. We just reconvened with Deputy Pu'u and people in the community, and the overwhelming response was it's 100% better than what we used to have out there. And it's not just the poles and bollards and the gates, but like it was just the attention that the park needed. I've had lots of people drive down past that and said that it looks like a whole new place, right? Because now it looks like a place that is being paid attention to. We have a few more things we're going to do there, but I just wanted to say thank you for that. And you know, the videos that you guys did of the work, do you guys have that at Cal Beach Park by the chance?
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
We have a lot of pictures, though.
Yeah, I took a lot of pictures too. I'm just so grateful for that. And, you know, the work that MSS does is, you know, I think what everybody wants. Obviously, we need some new things at the parks, but just the maintenance of it. I was at Wahiawa District because my kids play basketball over there, and I was like, where did this come from? And now I'm watching the video. I was like, that's what happened. Because I walked out there and that wasn't even there before, like that little slab you guys poured. So, you know, that is a heavily used park. Like every inch of that whole entire park is heavily used. So thank you for all the work that you gave, and thank you to all the guys that work under you. Good job.
Thank you. You're welcome.
Councilmember Cordero.
Thank you, Chair Tolba. Hi, Mr. Yamashita. I want to thank you and your whole team and the different divisions. You all are amazing, seriously. And we can't wait to work with you all the way until the very end. With that, I know that DDC often comes before us and works, of course, at the request of DPR's projects as well. And you mentioned that MSS has a lot of projects that you do in-house at the same time. So my question is, how do you decide which MSS work then gets contracted out to DDC?
To DDC?
Mm-hmm.
Normally, we don't send anything to DDC
Okay.
from MSS.
So I guess within DPR, then I guess, and it could go to maybe Dory or Nate or whomever to answer this. How would Parks determine which type of work would be managed by MSS or then go to DDC?
Hi. So basically, what MSS handles is maintenance. So nothing new except for like maybe a bench or something, but nothing new like big project, no new building. Their primarily function is for maintenance.
Okay.
So like a re-roofing, fencing because fencing has broken, bollards which are much needed, stuff like that. That's how we make the distinction.
Thank you. Thank you for that clarification.
We don't do, as our director told me, we don't do new construction yet.
Oh. Wow, that sounded very. Okay, thank you.
Maybe I should have said that.
Awesome. Okay, Councilmember Okimoro.
Thank you, Chair. Aloha, Dr. Yamashita. So I had a question. I know that you guys overall, the department is understaffed, which is an issue in most departments. And maybe you could clarify with me, when in my community, the main questions that we get are going to be, when is our parks going to get clean? When are these things going to get fixed? So I wanted to know, with the positions and the resources you have, what kind of schedule do you have set up so that when parks need to be maintained, and I know that there are a lot of city parks, but how can we go back to our communities and let them know, there's a system, there's a schedule? Most times what happens is I get community constituents to come and let me know that, okay, this needs repair, or this grass needs to be cut, or they let me know, and then I go to the parks department, and most times we can get results, but if that doesn't happen, things just kind of get left not maintained. And so I was hoping you could explain to me, so I could explain to my district what kind of schedule is set up, and how do you determine what gets taken care of and when?
In regards to maintenance, that's actually done by a different division, unfortunately. So he's the main
Repairs.
Yeah, he is repairs.
Okay.
So like, if you have anything that needed repair, if you guys put in the riser, it goes to Peter or his administration, and they take a look at it.
So do they not know until it's brought to their attention?
Sometimes that's because we don't see, everybody doesn't go to every park every single day. So if the groundskeeper sees it, then they report it. But if otherwise, we count on everyone working together to allow the parks to be in as good shape as possible. So if they report it, please let us know, and we're happy to address it.
How often do the groundskeepers go then to the parks and assess things?
Yeah, that's a different division. We're not sure.
You're not sure.
The schedule,
Right.
There's another section that can tell you that answer. We're not that section.
So the best answer that I can tell my constituents is, there's no system, but if you see something, let me know, and then I'll let the repair.
Yeah, and if you want a maintenance schedule, please put in the request or the riser, and the other division can answer you. Sorry, that's not our strength right now.
Okay. So to clarify, in your division, or you're part of the department, you don't have a schedule. You're pretty much, when you get told that something needs, you're not checking on things. It's just after the fact. That's when you guys go in and.
As I mentioned, we have 200 ROs repairs that come in a week. But in the course of our checking and repairing, and if we see something, then we don't turn a blind eye. Of course, we have the district. We repair those things too. We would have the district generate an RO for us, but it's in our radar, so then we would take care of that. I know the districts do have a maintenance schedule set up for each. Different districts have different schedules. Some parks are unmanned, so they're not staffed with one person there regularly, but it would be on a roving crew. So the roving crew would go there and clean the comfort station, empty the trash, and do things, maybe do a spot check or something. But
And in their checks, that's how they usually see things and they let you know. That's the
Right,
process.
right.
Okay, I appreciate you clarifying that with me. Thank you. Thank you, Chair.
Councilmember Say.
Hi, Mr. Yamashita.
no,
One parting question for me is, what would you like to see us do on behalf of your particular division, maintenance support? As you retire out, what would you like to see us support you or your, supervisors? Is there anything that you like?
that's a good question. I foresee that, we will be getting more monies because of our, what we do now is kind of opening people's eyes, and I foresee us getting larger budgets. It would be difficult to handle and do all of the projects and spend the money, rather than lapse money without more staff. As I mentioned, the 10,000 or more ROs that we get every year, we can't do them all. And so some things, they all have to be prioritized, and we do the most important ones, the emergency ones first. But, all the others are important also. So to get to all of those, more staff is needed. I know my carpentry staff is very undermanned. Although they're fully staffed, the amount of carpentry work that needs to be done in the parks, we just can't do it all. So every section at MSS needs more manpower to be able to do all the repairs, because our facilities are getting older. So as they get older, they're going to require more maintenance and repair. We like to kind of get to a point where we can do PMs, right? Preventative maintenance rather than do after the fact repairs. So, but to get there, you need to have a facility that's up and running and in top shape.
Mr. Yamashita, for me, one of our biggest complaints these past years was the fact that a lot of times our swimming pools are not fixed on time. Does it deal with the maintenance support services, or is it another division? Getting at like Pro City swimming pool took us 6-7 years to get it repaired. And I'm just trying to figure out what can we do to improve the system to a degree that we can get things done on a much more faster, quicker way. But also another point I say to you is this, with all your supervisors here, thank you very much. As I drive in the District 5, I think I have one of the most number of parks, right? And I see all the people out there not working, but playing, doing their pickleball, tennis, soccer, etc. And sometimes I tell myself, do they appreciate what you folks are doing, right? So in closing, the only reason why I asked the question, what can we do here to support one of your major causes before you retire? And that was it. So next time, maybe, Council Chair Toba, instead of just giving money to a zoo, go find the money for the parks as donation, right? I don't know. And then one final thought, Dory. Dory, I had a group that wanted to donate a lawnmower, the one you drive,
Oh, wow. Thank you.
but it was rejected by DPR.
Oh, I can look into it if I can come see you.
It was a group of baseball fathers that, use your folks' park, which is Manoa, and it was a power mower to go around. So somehow there was a breakdown of communication, but that's the kind of stuff, if people are willing to do it, and not criticizing the park keeper or et cetera, but that's the kind of stuff, if we can, on behalf of the residents, get you free gifts as far as for the maintenance, that would be fantastic.
Thank you. We can look into it.
Okay, Dory.
Thank you, Councilmember. I can always use them on my side. I know a couple people like help. Mr. Mr. Yamashita, thank you so much. The last 3 years, you've been such a help to my department and our district. So thank you so much for doing all the repairs. Early on you talked about the mechanical repair department and how at one time you had 4, now you have 2. In a perfect world, because if we can keep up with the maintenance of our mechanical equipment, we kind of get our grass cut, and the little things that you talk about, or the things that we all talk about, like what would be, Councilmember asked you if, what would be like the most, if we, how much people do we need in that department so that not only are our equipment maintained, but we can really do the things that we want to do to make sure that the parks, one, kept clean and maintained. So I know we've been operating on 4, now we're down to 2, and somebody gonna retire. In that department, what would be the most exceptional number?
It's hard to say, maybe 6. But aside from the number of bodies there, as you know, because of the pandemic, parts are really hard to get now, and if you can get them, it takes months to get parts. That's another dilemma that we all face, not only in parks but in all the other industries that have machines and things of that nature. Parts are really hard to get. But if you're asking about labor-wise, I think maybe 6, maybe 8 people would be. It's a good staff to have, but we do our best with what we have. One's retiring, another is on leave, and he probably retired too. So we hope to fill those positions and get back fully staffed again.
Okay. Yeah, no, I really do. It's amazing how, with a little beautification and, what you guys did with the parking lot area and putting in the benches, just in my district, does a lot. And the people take notice of that. So thank you so much for everybody in the back of you for really, taking care of parks. Okay, we'll now proceed with in-person testimony in the council chamber. Is there anyone here to testify?
Chair, there are none.
Okay. Is there anyone in the chamber that would like to testify?
Chair, there are none.
Okay. We'll then move on to remote testimony. Do we have any registered testifiers?
Chair, there are none.
Is there anyone, I see a hand, that would like to testify on this item?
Aloha,
Okay.
Chair and the City Council. Angela Melody Young, just testifying to support parks. And actually, I didn't really listen into the presentation, but I'm gonna advocate if the seniors, if there could be healthy activities for the seniors at the parks.
We're not
Because the
talking,
seniors like
Angela,
to play
really,
football.
some maintenance, but thank you.
Oh,
All right, thank you so much. All right, members, we are in discussion. Okay. I thank everybody for attending and participating in today's meeting. There
Chair?
being no, yes,
Can I just do a quick announcement?
sure.
This Friday, 2 to 4, Kapolei Hale Shore Water Events Rules meeting. So we
Okay.
had that a couple of months ago in your committee, but for the public who's watching, who cares about parks, specifically North Shore, South Shore surfing event rules, this Friday, 2 to 4, Kapolei, but they also have a online link if you can't make it there in person.
Okay, thank you, Councilmember Tupola. All right, there being no further business, this meeting is adjourned.